Welcome to today's webinar, Online Journey Hijacking, the Scale of the Problem and What You Can Do. My name is Laurel Ackerman. I'm a Namogoo team member. We're very pleased to have the creators and founders of Namogoo presenting today on the very real and growing problem of the impact of ad injections on online business today. With us are Chemi Katz, our CEO, Ohad Greenspan, CTO, and Alon Rosenberg, Vice President of Customer Success and Solutions. Chemi, you're starting us off today, so I will hand this over to you.
Okay, thank you. So, hi. Today I'm going to talk on introduction of online hawking and what it means for your business. The subject that I'm going to cover today is what is online hawking, how it happens, the scale of the problem, a few examples of online hawkings, and how the lack of impact your business. So what is online hawking and how it happens? Online hawking is a hidden new door that third-party vendors find into your customer browser. Usually the vendors bundle the malware with legit software like PDF Viewer or Facebook Zoom, sometimes even bundle with free antivirus software. You can get the bundle malware from desktop application, browser extension, mobile app, and even through free Wi-Fi in a coffee shop. That third-party vendor is now acting as a hawker, making money via clicks on the unauthorized ad and selling competitive products. This type of services runs in a layer on top of the website and is completely outside the control and visibility of the website owner. The scale of the problem is between 15 to 20%, and in high peak season, even up to 30% of online customers are already infected by malicious and invisible journey hijacking done by online hackers. A few examples of online hacking. We categorize the online hacking into three main categories. First, competitor products or product injection, like we call them. Second is ad exploit or banners. And third is a spyware, and I will give example of each category. In this slide, you can see Under Armour website with a few coupons or competitive products. Of course, the company that presented in the competitive product is not making the hacking by themselves. It's a complex chain of affiliation that's using the network to make more money. In this slide, you can see Macy's website with all kinds of ads banners that cover the functionality of Macy's website and harm the customer journey and also shows inappropriate ads on this example. In this slide, you can see how 10 lines of script that runs under the hood can listen to every keystroke the user is enter, especially the user and password, and can send data into dark website or use it by itself. How the lack of visibility impact your business? All of the growing phenomena of online hacking causing the analytics of the e-commerce to be skewed and make incorrect business decisions. It's harm all the A/B tests of the e-commerce do, and of course harm the performance the infected user is experiencing in the website.
Hi everyone, this is Ohad speaking. I'm going to cover today how online hacking that Chemi presented bypasses any security solutions that any e-commerce company obviously has. Also, how online hacking distorts your analytics as the head of data or head of e-commerce, of chief digital officer, or any e-commerce executive in the organization. Also, we provide a few KPIs that are impacted or how, and provide examples of how these are seen today. And also explain how Namogoo manages to detect these and protect these e-commerce companies against this phenomenon of online hacking. So as an e-commerce company, obviously, there are many types of solutions that protect the online real estate, the online store, as you call it, either protect the servers or protect the cloud, whatever it may be, with many, many different solutions. Online hacking, however, manages to do the harm and run beyond the scope of these solutions. It runs, as we mentioned, on the end customer's device, browser, desktop, or network. So by that, it manages to bypass any security solution, any solution that aims to protect the enterprise or the e-commerce and the real estate that it serves. From the analytics perspective, beyond the fact that the malware, digital malware runs, it also has a huge impact on the analytics that you, as a head of e-commerce or e-commerce executive, has, or the view that you have on your journey. These online hawkers that ride on your real customers' sessions and manipulate them, make the flow that your customers have divert and change because of the way this digital malware runs. As we will explain in the next few slides, you will see how the damage that the digital malware does, how it is seen today in your analytics. Following the same examples as we showed, this is again the same Under Armour screenshot. When the digital malware is injected into the page, any click on the products or any click on an advertisement that is injected into the page would look, first would make you lose a customer, and then in your analytics, it would look like a customer that leaves the page to another store. So the first immediate impact is what we call journey abandonment. The customer might abandon on the home page, on the category page, on the product page, on the checkout, on the cart, any step along the flow. The second KPI is bounce rate. So as you can see here, a customer that is injected with, or the session that is injected with streaming videos or inappropriate content or alerting messages, as you can see on top, makes the customer leave the site and never come back. This, again, would look in your analytics as a high bounce rate. We all know that e-commerce companies, in many cases, suffer from high bounce rate. This is one of the reasons the customers are diverted from the flow and leave the site, either because of page performance issues, like the streaming video does at the bottom, or content that shouldn't be there that alerts the user and makes him leave. Namogoo provides a service that is deployed on any session that needs to be protected. The service is based on sophisticated machine learning technology that learns the anomalies on the session, on the page, on all the page views by itself. No configuration needed, no customization needed. It's deployed on all the session and is trained to gather all the information and react accordingly with a zero false positive rate and no impact on the pages. The tag that Namogoo provides to the e-commerce company is deployed through any mean that the company has, tag management systems, CDN, load balancers, or can be deployed directly on the page through various mechanisms that Namogoo provides. The code now is served as part of the page. It becomes part of the page and creates a layer that protects the page and the session against any kind of threats that happens on the customer side. The code learns the anomalies. It is trained to detect them and block them and send reports both to the backend system and also to the customer's analytics, including Google, Adobe, and any analytics platform that the customer has. The key principle in the technology is the machine learning element that is shown here through the learning loop that you see here. Threats and symptoms and activities that are detected on sessions are learned from session to session to be classified either as malicious or legit. The ones that are malicious are trained or are learned by the process and by the code to be and are trained to be blocked, and then are blocked by the service. Again, the sessions are not blocked. The symptoms and the activities that the online hacking does are blocked, and the customer that has digital malware or online hackers on his deployed on his machine or network or device will have a clean and safe and trustful experience while browsing the site.
Thank you, Ohad. And now we're going to hear from Alon Rosenberg about what we're seeing when we're running POVs with our customers.
Hi, everyone. So as mentioned by Ohad and Chemi before, indeed, digital malware and overall is impacting the experience and impacting the journey that the customer is seeing. And part of what Namogoo is doing is running a proof of value and working with our customers afterwards. And what you see is the result that we achieve throughout those. So when we start blocking infected audience, when we start protecting your customers, we're starting to see improvement. So the result that you're seeing now is what happened after a 30-day proof of value that we're doing. We're seeing overall improvement in the sales funnel with, increasing of between 10 to 17% in conversion rate, 5 to 7% decrease in cart abandonment, and increase in retention rate. But it's not just the sales funnel which is being improved, but also the overall experience that we are improving, and this involve or resulting in basically also reducing the bounce rate, increasing the number of sessions the customers are doing, and reduction in the loading time performance of the website on the user. So these are the results that we achieve, as mentioned, after a 30-day POC, when we compare infected customers that we are protecting compared to infected customers that we are not protecting as part of this proof of value. But the interesting thing is that those results and this improvement that we are seeing not just stay for a 30-day and that's, and afterwards kind of it slows down, but rather when we look into existing customer and we look into the benchmark of those existing customer and looking into a year into service, we are actually seeing that those infected customers that we blocked injection to and we improved the experience are continuing to see or provide improvement to the e-commerce website, whether it's improvement in sales funnels with increasing retention rate. Those customers are having better experience and therefore they keep on returning into the site month after month. They're also just buying more than regular clean users, and they're less likely to abandon the cart during the process. And of course, because of it, they're less bouncing out of the site, and they're just spending more time and doing more sessions during the year. So those results show that fixing or handling the digital malware problem is definitely allow us to make consistency with improving and benefiting from those customers year over year and month over month. Now, if we look a bit further into that and kind of trying to see where those customers are coming, so I'm sure a lot of our assumptions are going to the fact that it's probably coming from specific type of device or specific type of browser, but actually the reality of what we are seeing from our different customers that we are working with is that it's really variety. We see from Mac devices to iOS devices, Windows, Android, and we really see different types of browsers that are being impacted. So everybody is kind of in a risk of being infected with digital malware, and the fact that Namogoo can provide solutions that cover any type of browser and any type of device allow us to make sure that we give the best protection to our customer. Doesn't matter which platform the user is coming from. Also, when we look into the type of injection that those users are suffering from, we see that there is more than 80 percent of the injection that are visual ones, which means that they are covering content, promoting your competitors into their site, or even sometimes doing some sort of affiliation loss because they are promoting you on your own site and making you lose twice because of it. These, type of injection are highly impacting the user experience, are highly impacting the way that you want your visitors to experience the site. Now, when we look at, as mentioned before by Jaime, when we look at, how those injections are coming, we definitely see them coming to our customer from different types of resources, whether it's extension of Chrome that were added, 3 different extensions that on parallel of them doing what they're planning to do, also inject different product ads into the user browser. We see all of the Wi-Fi, all of the different iOS devices that are being impacted because of hijack router that push ads while the user is using a free Wi-Fi, either in a coffee shop, in an airport, or in a lot of other places. And of course, different software that are being downloaded and just wrapped in unauthorized injection that are being added there. So as an overall, we kind of definitely see high impact, and we can understand that the reason of why we are seeing improvement in sales funnel, improvement in the user experience overall, both in the initial 30 day, but also a year after, is by preventing those 84% of visual ads, or preventing the other types of injection like spyware, etc., helping those customers better experience your site and choosing you instead of your competitors, which are probably they're seeing more injection, and their experience is much more impacted because of it.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Jaime, Ohad, and Alon, for a great overview about this problem that definitely is growing and the impact that we're seeing. Before we leave this webinar, I do have some questions that are coming in from today that I'd like to pass over to you to answer. The first question, Jaime, this one I think should be for you. Do ad injections only affect e-commerce sites?
So actually, ad injections can impact any website. Of course, e-commerce, but also publisher sites and any website where there is an opportunity of customer to be distracted and taken away.
Great. Next question. If my customers are using ad blockers, won't that take care of the problem? Alon, do you want to address that one?
Sure. So ad blockers are actually dealing with ads that you are putting on your website, but they're not dealing with this type of injection. They're looking for the content that you deliver and not something that's been promoted from your own, from the browser of the user because of the way that the injection are happening. So from all of we are seeing, from all of the, hundreds of millions of sessions that we are monitor, we are not seeing that ad blocker, even though they're installed, are really assisting and protecting users because of that.
Great. Here's another one. Will adding Namogoo as one more script on my site affect my website performance? Ohad, could you please address this question?
Yeah, sure. So Namogoo service is written in a lean and mean approach, and it has also self-optimizing mechanisms that make it invest less resources on sessions that are found to be clean, and more resources are invested in sessions that are found to be what we call the infected or impacted by digital malware symptoms or online hacking symptoms. Actually, we see the opposite. While preserving the performance to be optimal for clean sessions, Namogoo actually improves the performance significantly, in some cases by tens of percents or even hundreds of percents for sessions that are impacted by online hacking.
Fantastic. Here's a great one. I don't see any ad injections in my browser. Is there a way I can see what you say my customers are seeing? Alon.
Sure. So actually, you're one of those lucky people that know how to better protect yourself from digital malware on your browser. But we do see that ID injection are spread out there, and one of the things that we will share with you once we run a POV is how exactly your customers are experiencing the site, and we have our own even tool and system which we'll be happy to provide you that can mimic and allow you to get the experience of those users. So we'll be happy to share it, and if you'll send us your details to info@namogoo.com, we'll be able to share it and provide you an analysis report on the threat and how your infected users are really experiencing the site.
Great. And just one more, we have time for today. I'm on the e-commerce side of the business. Is this something I should be asking our IT department to manage instead? Ohad, could you take that one?
Yeah, sure. So Namogoo is designed to be a service that can be easily deployed by e-commerce and digital teams or the website owner or the website team. It does not require any IT involvement and no R&D efforts. So it's designed to be deployed through tools, simple tools like Google Tag Manager, through tag management systems or tools that exist in the market and are usually owned by the digital teams. And we always work with these kind of teams. Usually, in majority of cases, these teams has what needs to be what they need. They have what they need in order to deploy such a solution. So.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, I think that we're going to wrap it up for today. Thank you very much, Kemi, Ohad, and Alon, and thanks for everyone for attending today's webinar. On behalf of Namogoo and our presenters, thanks again for joining us, and have a great rest of your day.